There's a solar field at an airport that's now powering thousands of homes. Do you think this could be the start of breaking down old barriers around who controls our energy?
Today's date is May 21st, 2025. Let's kick off with some numbers. In the first quarter of this year, 98% of new electricity capacity in the U.S. came from renewables. Did you see that coming?
The pace is hard to ignore. What's really catching my attention, though, is how it's happening. Community solar is at the heart of it. Take Pittsburgh International Airport's solar field. It now powers not just the airport, but thousands of nearby homes and businesses. I'm curious, why do you think this approach is gaining traction right now?
Policy is making a huge difference. For example, New Jersey went from testing community solar to making it permanent. They've secured almost 450 megawatts of capacity. The important part is clear guidelines on project size, simple ways to connect to the grid, and straightforward rules for subscriber compensation. But why does all that matter to someone just paying their monthly bill?
It really comes down to access. Community solar allows renters, small businesses, and families with lower incomes to support clean energy, even if they can't put panels on their roofs. Think about who missed out before. Basically, anyone without property or a large upfront investment. Now, with subscription models and partnerships with housing authorities, that barrier is gone. Would you say this finally addresses energy equity?
It looks that way. Some programs even require that a portion goes to low-income households, and there are models promising savings, no credit checks needed. So it's not just about the technology, it's really about participation. But let's get specific. A typical 5-megawatt community solar project. What kind of impact does that have on a local economy?
One project like that generates about $14 million in local economic activity and almost 100 jobs. On a national scale, the Department of Energy wants to see 5 million households powered by community solar by the end of this year, which could mean $1 billion saved on energy bills. How does that kind of impact multiply if the trend continues?
If community solar really scales up, you're looking at more than $120 billion in economic activity and over 18,000 local jobs created for each gigawatt added. So if the benefits are this clear, why aren't all states moving forward with it?
It often comes down to whether state policymakers are willing to lead or not. States with firm frameworks, like New York, Illinois, Maine, and Minnesota, are seeing the fastest growth. Others are behind, even though consumer demand is there, because their policies are unclear or too tight. Groups like the Coalition for Community Solar Access are trying to shift that. But stepping back a bit, do you see community solar changing how reliable our power grid is?
Definitely. Since these projects are local, they put less pressure on the grid and reduce the risk of widespread outages. And because they can be built quickly, sometimes in just a year, they're able to respond fast to new demand, like from AI data centers or more electric vehicles. Why is that speed so important right now?
The International Energy Agency just reported that in 2024, over 90% of new global power came from renewables. But to meet climate targets, we need 3 times more capacity by 2030. Community solar is quick to build, uses existing spaces, and cuts transmission losses. Maybe that's why nearly all business leaders, 97% worldwide, now say they support clean energy. Do you think the economic case is finally as compelling as the environmental one?
It seems like the two are finally aligning. Clean energy now means more jobs, stronger economies, and better resilience. Jeff Kramer compared it to finding a $100 bill on the sidewalk. The real question is, will lawmakers act on it?
The data says they should. Community solar is no longer a niche idea. It's mainstream, and it's making affordable clean power available to millions. The global impact is significant. Lower emissions, better health outcomes, new jobs, and a realistic path to climate goals. Where do you see things heading next?
Expansion looks set to continue. Technology is getting cheaper, demand keeps rising, and more people are on board. The real test will be whether progress keeps up, or if policy obstacles slow things down.
That's exactly what we'll be watching. Community solar is changing not just the technology, but who actually has power, both literally and in terms of access.
Thanks for tuning in as we unpack the numbers, the policies, and what community solar's rapid growth really means.
From the Pittsburgh Airport solar field to neighborhoods across the country, this renewable shift isn't just a headline anymore. It's happening in real communities and changing who gets to benefit.
Thanks for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio.